let's say goodbye to the old G2 and let's say hello to the new Max G3. Today we're going to be doing a review of the Max G3 from Segway, the all-new scooter from Segway that I think is going to be leaps and bounds ahead of the G2. Let's get started. So right off the bat you can see that the new G3 definitely looks a lot more beefy than the old G2. So let's start off with the front end. As you can see, the old G2 only had one shock absorber here on the front. The new G2 is going to have shocks on both sides. So it's going to come with two shocks on the front. Also, you're going to see this tire is a little wider and also a little bit taller than the old one. We're also going to get disc brakes on the front. That's also continues into the rear versus the one brake that the G2 had. And we're also going to get a new folding mechanism that, as you'll see, is way more convenient and efficient than the old one. Let's just do this real quick so you can see the difference. So as you can see, with the old one, it's kind of offset to the side. It's not straight with the frame. In the new G3, as you can see, it is all lined up, so it should be easier to carry and also easier to store. And folding size is pretty much the same. Doesn't look like it's much taller, even though we are getting a beefier, more robust scooter. As you can see, the Max 3, the platform itself is actually a little bit wider than the old G2, and just is a little more sturdy, and also sits up a little higher than the old one. And I think that's due to the shock location. If you look at the shock location here on the G2, it is a little more angled. If you look on the G3, is a little bit more vertical. Also on the G3, like I said, we're going to get the rear disc brakes as well as the front disc brakes, so stopping power is definitely going to be a little better. And that's really needed when you're going 28 miles per hour compared to the old G2, which has a top speed of 22 miles per hour. The next thing where you're really going to see a big difference between these models is in the handlebars and the actual components that you're going to be interacting with while you're riding the scooter. The buttons, the switches, throttle, everything on the handlebar. And then you're also going to notice the difference in screen size, with the G2 being the smaller screen and the G3 being the new screen, which has some new features on it that are really cool as well. You're also going to notice that there's a slight slant back towards the rider to make it a little bit more ergonomic while you're riding it compared to just the straight bars that are here on the G2. The other thing that I found really cool is if you look here at the G2, it just has this button throttle right here, and the G3 does have the button throttle, but it also has this area right here that allows you to just use it like a traditional twist throttle that would exist on a motorcycle or something like that. You're also going to notice the button location. Here we have our turn signals and our horn, which is pretty much all we have, and then we have our power switch right here. On the G3, we're going to have our turn signals, we're going to have our power button, our light button, and then also our mode selection. And you also get a programmable button right here that you can use to program different features and functions if you want to do that. You're also going to notice that you have one brake handle here on the G2, and on the G3 you're going to get front and rear, once again, to operate those front and rear disc brakes. On the G3 you're going to notice you get a manual bell, which I think is a step backwards, as you have the electronic bell or horn right here on the G2, and here they put a manual one on there. I'm not sure I really like that, but hey, how many times do you really use a horn on a scooter? So let's turn these on and just look at the difference in screens. I still have the plastic on this, but I will take it off just for this. So as you can see, the screen on the new G3 is a lot bigger than the screen on the G2. The G3 also is going to come with traction control that you can turn on from the app, which I think is really cool. And also, when selecting the different drive modes that you want to be in, you just hit this, which is really cool. No more double tapping, which is annoying on most scooters that you have, while you're riding, if you want to switch modes, you have to double tap in order to get that mode to change. Now it can be easily done just by hitting this one time, and you're automatically changing into a different mode. The other cool thing about this is now you no longer have to take your hands off either. So on most scooters, especially where we're looking at comparing it with the G2, you'd have to have both hands while you're driving, and then if you want to switch modes, you'd have to take one hand off. So you either have to come to a complete stop, or you have to take one hand off and switch. Now you don't need to do that. You can easily just switch right from here. You don't have to take any hands off the handlebars while you're switching modes or anything else that you want to do to interact and engage with the scooter. So here's the app interaction that you have. So you have all the same pretty much settings. You're going to notice one thing that's different here, and that's this navigation that you can use. So I'm going to put in the navigation on the phone through the app, as you can see. And as you're going to see, the navigation is actually going to pop up right here on the screen and give me turn-by-turn directions right here on the screen, so I don't need to have my phone up or anything like that while I'm using the scooter and trying to navigate through the city. Alright, let's go for a ride and go through the different modes and see how they work. So the first mode that we're in is actually walk mode. This is going to be your slow mode. That's going to be your battery saving mode. And it also is going to be the mode for just like a walking speed. So this is where we're at, 3 miles per hour. Very sturdy scooter. It doesn't feel like you're going to fall. I just took one hand off and still feels super sturdy. Let's switch into eco mode. Really good acceleration, especially compared to the G2 and eco mode. I'd say this almost felt like sport mode compared to the G2 in the eco mode. But this is going to get you 10 miles per hour in eco mode. This is drive mode. Pretty much same acceleration, but we're going to get a little bit more miles per hour, 16 miles per hour to be exact. It just feels really comfy. The handlebars being kind of slightly tilted back towards the rider makes a way more comfortable ride. The scooter feels very comfortable and makes you feel confident while you're riding it. Alright, let's switch into sports mode and see what this thing can do. You can definitely feel this acceleration. Man, this thing is fast. It's a fun scooter. I mean, it like you're going fast, but it really doesn't feel like crazy fast. This is such a comfortable scooter. I mean, with the wider tires, just a wider platform, you feel a lot more confident on it. I mean, even at the higher speeds, it is a comfortable scooter. I mean, we are blazing. It's just a really easy ride. Like I said, I really like the ability to use this as a twist throttle. Overall, great scooter. I mean, and for the price, the launch price was only $900 for this scooter. And I think it's a bargain. I mean, compared to everything else that's on the market, I mean, there's scooters that are $1,200, $1,500, even $1,800 that I don't think compare to this in terms of comfort, how it rides, features. It is definitely a great overall scooter. Not an off-road scooter by any means, but the shock absorbers absorb enough, especially on the street. Like, I'm going to run over this little crate right here, like nothing, feels like nothing. Overall, great scooter. And that's my review of the new Max 3. It is a great scooter overall, and I highly recommend it, especially for the price.